What started as a gang of Venezuelan migrants has now evolved into a potent transnational crime force. Tren de Aragua, now linked to more than 100 police investigations across the country, and their influence is growing. News Nation correspondent Jorge Ventura tracking this criminal organization for us. Jorge, what are we learning?
Well, Natasha, some officials have actually described Tren de Aragua as MS-13 on steroids, a reference to the infamous Salvadorian gang. Tren de Aragua is a Venezuelan prison gang, which in large part was seen to be contained in South America, but now has spread its influence to here in the United States and operating in states like New York, Colorado, even Wisconsin, and where you are, Natasha, in Chicago. And according to some reports, have even been given the green light to open fire on American law enforcement.
From armed robbery to looting of high-end stores, authorities began tracking the Tren de Aragua gang operations in New York City, where gang members have been involved in robberies and violent clashes with law enforcement, including this brutal attack on NYPD officers in January. At least 2 of the 14 suspects have been linked to the gang. Another shocking incident that made national headlines, the murder of nursing student Lincoln Riley. Authorities believe the suspects, 2 brothers identified as Diego and Jose Ibarra, have ties to the Tren de Aragua gang. More recently, 2 major incidents in Colorado also involving the Tren de Aragua gang. In Aurora, gang members have been linked to violent incidents at several apartment complexes. As you can see, the alleged gang members carrying assault rifles. Local police have responded to numerous cases where residents were victims of armed robberies and home invasions. And in Denver, thieves suspected to be linked to the Tren de Aragua gang pulled off a high-profile jewelry heist, stealing over $100,000 worth of merchandise. In the video, the robbers are seen pulling out guns, pushing open an office door, and pistol whipping 2 women who fall onto the floor. In El Paso, Texas, authorities uncovered a human smuggling operation where victims were held against their will. The gang is reportedly using these hotels as temporary holding centers before moving victims across state lines. But it doesn't stop there. In addition to being spotted in New York, Colorado, and Texas, the gang has expanded to Miami, Chicago, and Wisconsin. U.S. officials fear that the Tren de Aragua gang could destabilize these areas, much like they did in South America, as this organization is notorious for brutal violence, drug trafficking, and extortion. Homeland Security investigation revealed that the Tren de Aragua gang members are young men aged 18 to 25, often wearing high-end streetwear like Chicago Bulls jerseys and Michael Jordan sneakers. They also have distinct tattoos featuring Venezuelan flags or gang symbols, making them easier to spot.
Now, it's not just American law enforcement who are on high alert, so are the Mexican authorities. In the Mexican state of Chihuahua, authorities there have already began inviting experts from South America to go over the tactics of Tren de Aragua. According to Mexican authorities, they also believe that Tren de Aragua is already linked to 3 homicides in the Mexico City area.
Yeah, I appreciate you tracking that. Jorge Ventura live for us in San Antonio tonight. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.